Thomas the Tank Engine. To some, he is just a character in a kid's show. To others, he is a forever part of somebody's childhood. I, for one, am with the latter, and I grew up with Thomas when I was a kid. I remember watching the classic series when I was younger, and it was amazing. The stories were magnificent, the characters were unforgettable, the backgrounds were breathtaking, and the music was absolutely phenomenal. Not to mention that the opening theme song kicked major butt! As an adult, I still have fond memories of the lovable Blue Tank Engine and cannot wait to share them with my own kids one day. But why is Thomas the Tank Engine so popular? Why has he made an everlasting impact on both adults and children alike all around the world? Let's travel back to where it all began with Reverend Wilbert Awdry. Awdry was born in Ampfield, Hampshire, England on June 15, 1911, to Vere and Lucy Awdry. In 1942, he wrote a book about talking trains to his only son Christopher, who was suffering from the measles at the time. Christopher loved the story so much that he told his dad to publish it, and 3 years later it was available to the public. The book was a bestseller, and due to high demand, Awdry wrote more stories until 1972. In 1984, Awdry would team up with producer Britt Allcroft and director David Mitton to adapt his stories into a television series called Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, which would be very popular for years to come. The show even went on long after Awdry's death on March 21, 1997. There were some good moments, some bad moments, some what the hell am I watching moments, and some oh hell no moments. But the series I liked most of all was the classic series, when the show had realism, clever writing, common sense. When the drivers and firemen were the voice of reason rather than background characters. While most other TV shows about talking vehicles are cartoony, Thomas took more of a realistic approach. Well, at least as realistic as anthropomorphic trains go. One thing I really liked about the show was that the trains moved realistically despite being able to talk. The realism was in the older classic series, the newer Andrew Brenner series, and to an extent the Hit Entertainment series. Speaking of Hit Entertainment, it wasn't until they came along that's when Thomas became more boring and educational. What did I do with the show when Hit Entertainment took over?
Just stop. Just stop it. Stop. No, just stop it.
That's right, I stopped watching it. However, that is until I saw Thomas with a new look. When I found out that Thomas was transitioning over to CGI, I was pretty hyped and went back to watching it. But it was awful. With a constant 3 strikes you're out storyline and an obnoxious amount of rhyming. Not to mention overused phrases such as special, oh the indignity, or an idea flew into his funnel. And don't even get me started on some of the worst and most obnoxious characters imaginable. Charlie! And that's when I thought to myself, Thomas was never going to be good again. That is until the release of King of the Railway. When season 17 followed it, it was a huge improvement. Though not as good as the classic series, it was still fun to watch. And I felt like I was watching a good show once more. I also thought that maybe they would finally turn around and make Thomas great again. That is until a certain someone showed up.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.
And you know what's even more unokay? Ugh, gives me the creeps every time I look at that. At that moment, I knew for a fact that Thomas was gone. That there was no saving him this time around. He may have been given a second chance in the Andrew Brenner era, but in most cases, lightning does not strike twice. Ever since Big World Big Adventures, or BOBA for short, Thomas has been going down the drain. A slow and painful descent. But enough about that. Here's why Thomas the Tank Engine is more than just a kids show. The imagery is astounding and sometimes unsettling. For example, in the episode Haunted Henry, there is this spooky, mysterious, abandoned part of the island filled with mist at night, and the leafless trees make it all the more spooky. There is also an episode called Rusty and the Boulder, which is about a giant boulder that goes on a murderous rampage around the narrow gauge railway, destroying everything in its path. There are also other dark moments in Thomas history, such as Henry being shut up in a tunnel, Percy almost getting buried alive in a mine, Toby almost falling off a waterfall, and even engines being saved from scrap. The list goes on. Despite its dark moments, Thomas is a family show that anyone of any age can watch. Kids can enjoy the lightheartedness of the talking trains and the morals that go with it, while the adults can enjoy some of the darker moments in the show. I highly recommend the books, seasons 1 through 5 of the TV show, and the Andrew Brenner series for the best experience possible. Thomas the Tank Engine has made a great impact on me and many other fans of the show, and will forever be a part of my childhood.